Hello, parents and kiddos, if you're watching. I'm Kristen Zweiback, and I will be your kiddos' first grade teacher in whatever we do this year, whether we're doing remote learning or if we're actually learning in person, which fingers crossed that will happen this year. So I just want to, this should be about 15 minutes long, and I'll go through a few things. I hope I answer all your questions. If I don't, there's always the opportunity of emailing me or texting me, and I will give you all that information as we progress through the week. So the first thing I want to really quickly talk about is that this little quote kind of speaks to this whole thing we're doing right now, right? Challenges are what make life interesting, but overcoming them is what makes them meaningful. So if we can really think of this year as this just sort of experience that we're all being challenged by, and I promise you, your kids are going to come out resilient, and you are going to have so much more knowledge of what they know and who they are and how they learn. So if we can kind of use this challenge as a way to find meaning and just even the education of our kids, that would be a gift in itself. Just quickly to start off, I'll move my head for you. This is my family. This is my husband, Josh. We've been married for 19 years. And we both went to CSU and decided that it's an awesome place to raise children, and so we stayed. This boy here, who looks like a 30-year-old, this is Max. He is 16, and on his 16th birthday, he did his first solo flight in an airplane. And yes, I stood on the ground and had some freak out moments and cried a little, but it was really amazing. And of course, he is trying to be a pilot, and just to make my heart a little more crazy, he would like to be a Navy pilot. So Sydney is my daughter, and she is 13, and she's fantastic, amazing, and loves horses and participates in jumper competitions. So this is one of our competitions this summer, and she was amazing, awesome, and she's great. This is Liam, my youngest, and he is 9 and is in 4th grade this year, and he loves hockey. And pretty much anything you could swing a stick at. Like, he loves baseball, whatever. This family is, I think like you guys, we've had kind of a crazy year, but they have been awesome. So you might hear a lot about these guys throughout the year. About me. I was an occupational therapist for 10 years. I worked for the Thompson School District. I also worked in private therapy, and I did hippotherapy, which is therapy with horses. Then I became a business owner, and I owned a personal training and fitness business for 8 years that had to do with moms, their babies, and just overall postnatal well-being and fitness. And I always like to say that I've been a parent for 16 years because I think that's something that should be, if it isn't already, on your resume. That's a big deal. All right, so this is our schedule, and I did send you a copy of this. It's also on our learning pages, which I will share with you. I want you just to note that this gray, and including the blue, are the times that our kiddos will be online. So pretty much all morning. We have a log off time here at lunch, but from 8 a.m. all the way till noon, your kiddo will be logged on. So, they may not be on their screen the whole time, but they should be logged on with us this entire time, which is kind of nice because you're not going to have to deal with logging in and logging out. Then at noon, we have our break for lunch, and we'll come back on together to review our assignments for the day, and that's kind of what they'll complete in the afternoon with this independent work time. Just so that we're on the same page, I know you've heard a lot about this synchronous versus asynchronous. Synchronous learning is the learning that we're going to do together in the classroom. This is our time as a group. So in that time, I'm going to be teaching lessons, we're going to be answering questions, I'm going to be trying to engage them in whatever we're learning. It's my check-in time with kids, okay? It's teacher directed, and we're going to be using Microsoft Teams, which, don't worry, we'll get you all set up on, and you'll be ready to go with that when we're ready to go. All lessons will be recorded, but I will say that it's preferable that kids are available and with us during that learning time, because that's when they're going to get me live to answer questions. I can check their understanding, so it's really kind of an important thing for them to be on. Asynchronous time, that's that afternoon chunk that we're going to talk about, and that's their learning time or their work time. So they'll get some assignments through Seesaw, which I'll talk a little bit about in a second, but really you can expect that to happen at different times. You might have a different location for that, but our platform for it is going to be Seesaw. Okay, and that will be their mode of turning in work to me. Seesaw. If you don't know what Seesaw is, if you're kindergarten from last year, you'll know that Seesaw was what they used as well. That was their platform, especially in the spring. But we use it all year in our classroom. So we're going to be teaching them some things that I don't drop Seesaw. We've been using it in first grade for about 4 years. And so we know it very well, and our kids use it. We use it all day long. So this isn't going to be some platform we're going to teach them and then get rid of it when we come back to in-person learning. We're going to use it the whole entire year. We can track progress, we can assess understanding on it. It's super creative, so the kids can relate to it and they love it. It's also our IB portfolio, so it will travel with the kids throughout grade levels. Seesaw Family app, if you would like to get a jump start, you can. You can pull this app up on your smartphone, and this is my way of communicating with you. Kids will be turning in work through Classroom Seesaw, but this little app here is where I'm going to communicate with you. I do group communication on there, and I might even do individual communication, but I have never found a more efficient way of communicating with parents than this particular app. So I will be sending out a link to our classroom as soon as the district tells us it's up and ready to go. So you can watch for that, but if you'd like to in the meantime, you can just download the Family app and then wait for that link. These are teacher expectations. This is what I want you to expect from me. I want this to be a partnership. This is not something you should be doing alone. I don't expect you to sort of like take this all on like we did in the spring. It was just very different in the spring. We're doing this as a partnership, okay? But here's what you expect from me. Monday morning, you will get a communication from me. It will be our newsletter, and I plan on doing it as a quick video and then also as a printable or just a readable, something you can read. I'll have office hours that will run in the afternoon. That's also when I'm going to do my small groups. I'll be able to answer emails. If you'd like to have a private meeting with me, we can do that like through Teams or on a phone call. My job is to form the classroom. So what we form now in this remote learning is also what we're going to bring back when we come back to in-person learning. So these first couple weeks are going to be super important. I'm going to teach the expectations, and then you can follow through with them if you see kids not following those expectations. But in reality, I'm going to lead the online learning, okay? Here's your role. We are calling anyone who's helping kids with this learning, we're calling them learning coaches, because we're here to sort of lead it, and we want you guys to coach them along. This first one here is the most important thing. Let your student make mistakes. I want them to make mistakes. They have to make mistakes. They have to be able to see where they made a mistake, and I have to know where they don't understand. Be available for tech support. Be a coach, help them along. You can do this. I know you can. I know this is hard. Just let them kind of, sometimes it's just that moment you got to listen, right? Enjoy the process. There is never a time in history where we are going to be able to see our kids learn in this way. Never again. So just sit back every now and then and just be kind of in awe of them. You'll never be in this position ever again. And it's just kind of it's a great time to kind of sit back and just enjoy what you see. Relax, I'll be the bad guy. I do not expect you to, go head to head with your kids if they're not performing the way I'd like them to, or I can't see what they're doing. Let me use some of my tools to sort of access them versus you getting on them and being that teacher at home. Let me do that. I will be the bad guy. I'll be the good guy. I'll be whatever you need. So you just let me know what you need from me and I will help. Class learning pages. I'm going to exit this really quick so you can see them. This is our learning page. So you'll have access to this. It's great. It's going to have all of our links here, and it will also have quick links that I want you to access throughout the year. We'll start putting in all of our reading links, everything that we're going to be using throughout the year. You'll start seeing in that page. So you'll get a little an email later on today, maybe tomorrow, that gives you access to that, and then they should be up and running. I know that they're a little delayed right now, so you may not check right now. Meet Your Teacher Day, yay! On August 24th, you probably got the sign up today, but you will get to come and meet me, okay? You're going to receive a toolbox and I'll kind of tell you what's in that toolbox, but it's going to give you everything your kiddo is going to need to make this work in these first few weeks, okay? It's also your time to kind of ask me some questions, so write some things down that you want to chat with me about. First grade toolkit. You're going to keep this in whatever your learning area is in your house, okay? And you're going to use some things that we've already purchased. So if you already did your back to school shopping, thank you. You will need the markers, pencils. You'll need headphones, scissors, glue stick, deck of cards, dice, and the 3-ring binder from your supply list. Okay, everything else I'm going to supply you with whatever we're going to be using and accessing through this learning. Okay, it'll be in that kit. IB is kind of what ties us all together. So this is where we're taking all these key concepts that we're going to be learning and we're going to apply them across our entire day. It's also deciding on what needs action. So when kids decide, I see a problem there, we want them at any age to be able to take action. Okay, and we're going to be teaching them how to access all kinds of different areas of learning, how to solve problems, how to use self-management skills, how to use their thinking skills. So we'll kind of facilitate that all year, and we'll talk more about IB as we kind of get going. But this link is also live if you click right here, and it's a great video that just kind of gives you an overall picture of what IB is. I know that some of you are just ready to go. I am a parent too, and I am ready to get things going, but please be patient with us. This is a slow rollout, and I promise you I'll start giving you things slowly as we're going to use them, and we're all going to get there. It'll be great. But first, I love this. I want to make a t-shirt out of it. I want to make a poster out of it. Relationships before rigor, grace before grades, patience before our programs, and love before learning. Please, please, please just know that, we have kids that your kiddos didn't finish kindergarten. They didn't ever leave kindergarten. And so we're going to kind of work through a lot of that stuff these first few weeks. So just know that this is my platform for the first couple weeks. This is what I'm going for. And when you don't see us opening a lot of books, I just want you to have that patience and that grace that says, I understand I need them to believe in me first. Then we can move on with other things. Okay? And finally, just to sum up, this is sort of my mantra for the year is grit. Firmness in mind, courage in the face of hardship. So as long as we can kind of maintain this grit of, yes, this is so hard, or yeah, we got it today. We did a great job. Maybe tomorrow will be the same. As long as we can always sort of stay in this place of, yep, we know this is going to be tough, I think we'll all be great. And I just want to finish by saying that I know that this year is terribly scary for all of us, and there are some elements of it that are just totally unknown. But regardless of whether we're online or these kiddos are sitting right in front of me, I take my job very seriously. And I know that when your kids walk through that door or sit down in front of me on that screen, I know that you've sent your heart and soul to me, and I promise you I will love them and they will know it. When they enter Riffenberg, they know they are cared for, and especially in these first grade classrooms. So thank you so much for entrusting me with your kiddos. Please communicate with me as much as possible this year. And again, if you have questions, just write them down. Bring them on that 24th. If perhaps that time doesn't work for you, or you can't find a sign-up time, or none of those times work, just let me know. We'll figure something out. The last thing I'd like to do is make sure that you bring on the 24th a piece of paper. Grab a white piece of paper out of that packet, and this is going to be the kids All About Me sheet. Write their name on it, take a bunch of pictures of things they love, what describes them, what makes them who they are. Turn it into me on the 24th. I'm going to make a nice background behind me of all of their stuff so that that becomes sort of our classroom. Okay? I will send out a few more details on that if you feel like you need them, but really super simple, their name and just some awesome pictures. They're going to get a chance to share it with everybody. We're going to talk about it. It makes everybody feel special and a part of this classroom. So thanks so much for listening. And again, let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day.